Chair recognizes Representative Nevarez.
Mr. Speaker, members, just to wrap up what I believe to be a very pertinent and good amendment that is, again, endorsed by the Texas Association of Business is it's simply allowing and codifying the landowner, the private property rights intent. And that intent is to respect that business with the fact that they don't want firearms on the premise, which I think should be easy enough to do. The signs would be created by the DPS. They'd be 8.5 by 11. They'd be consistent. They would be easy to understand. Again, it would be a pictogram, which is a gun in a circle with a line drawn through it if you don't want a firearm there, or one with the firearm drawn through and saying you allow concealed carry but not open carry. And so, again, I believe this is good for those of us that support our local businesses, for those of us that believe that commerce is important in the state, and for those of us that more importantly believe that private property rights are important and the intent of the individual and the landowner is important. We should vote for this amendment.
I recognize Representative Phillips in opposition to the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I appreciate the sentiment that we're talking about, because that's one of the things we wanted to make sure is two things. One, to preserve the right of concealed handgun carriers and then those that are going to be carrying open, and to make sure businesses could differentiate and say, you know, I want to have keep the old way, but I may not want to do open carry, so we're going to have 30-07. So we have an additional sign that they can do. There's been a lot of discussion about this, so there are those that want to make it a whole lot easier to go back 20 years. We've not had issues 20 years. In fact, it's hard to see, we don't see many of those signs. But it's important that we keep the signs the way they are, because concealed handgun license holders understand what that sign looks like. They look for that sign when they go somewhere. They go and it needs to be big enough that when I'm out in my car, I can see up there and say, oh, okay, I don't need to take my weapon here. It's not welcome. So they don't have to go up to the door and then return. And that's really what this, why I'm going to move to table this. I've got a picture. There's a movie theater in South Austin that has a sign up, and it's very visible, far enough, but it's not so large that it creates an issue. And so what this does is we're going to probably see 30-07 signs, and won't see any more of these 30-06 signs than are already in existence today. So with that, I respectfully move to table.
Chair recognizes Representative Nevarez.
Mr. Speaker, members, it's simple. We need to respect the intent of private property owners. This sign does that, and we built into the bill, assuming that today's legislation would pass the House and the Senate, it allows for both signs, which would accommodate 30-06 should it not be the law, or should it stay the law, or 30-07 should it change. And again, all we're looking for is to make things a little bit more simple and a stated intent from a landowner, a business owner, a private property owner, or a leaseor. And with that, I close. And I urge you to vote no in tabling the amendment. Thank you.
Representative Nevarez sends up an amendment. Representative Phillips moves to table this on the motion to table. Clerk, ring the bell. Vote aye. Vote nay. Show Representative Davis of Harris voting no. Show Representative Hunter voting aye. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? Show Mr. Metcalf voting aye. Being 97 ayes and 43 nays, the motion to table prevails.